One of the most fun parts of putting together a new set is seeing what kinds of Easter eggs the designers quietly slipped in. Today I'll show you some of my favorite hidden secrets in recent LEGO builds. A great example of a hidden Easter egg can be found in the Magic of Disney set from 2024. This build is bursting with references to Disney's illustrious history of animation, but most of these are on full display. It's kind of the entire point of the set. However, there's one reference that stands out because it will likely never be seen by anyone other than the builder. About 3/4 of the way through the build, starting on step 153, you'll start building Mickey Mouse himself. After a few steps, you might notice a very familiar pattern starting to take shape. Brown boots, blue pants, a yellow shirt, a cowhide vest, and even a brown hat. Yup, that's undeniably Woody from Toy Story. The real neat thing here though is the use of these 1x1 white plates with a black spot printed on them. This set comes with 8 of these pieces, and they're all used in this step. Including printed pieces just for them to be covered up really demonstrates the sheer dedication to this hidden reference. Now, one of my all-time favorite hidden references can be found in 2025's Tyrannosaurus Rex Fossilized Skeleton set. This massive set comes with over 3,000 parts, but there's only 2 pieces that I'm specifically interested in for this video. About halfway through the first instruction booklet, you'll need to fish out a few pieces that don't really seem like they'd belong in this set. The first is a steering wheel element, which, as I'm sure you know, is definitely not part of the T-Rex fossil record. So what is this for? Well, it gets even more interesting because the very next step tells you to grab one of LEGO's most iconic parts, the green frog. You're told to stack the frog on top of a little brown seat and set it in front of the steering wheel. This step caused more than a couple people to wonder what was going on, but the answer really isn't all that complicated. As anyone who's seen or read the original Jurassic Park knows, the dinosaurs were brought back to life by using frog DNA, and this little frog here seems to be driving the dinosaur. Much like with Woody in the Disney set, this little guy gets completely covered up by the rest of the build and is never seen again. However, this isn't the first time that LEGO has pulled this trick. Back in 2019, LEGO released the Jurassic Park T-Rex Rampage set. This set shares a few things in common with the T-Rex fossil. Not only do they both predominantly feature a giant T-Rex build, but they both have almost the exact same number of parts, 3,143 for the fossil and 3,120 for this set released in 2019. But that's not all. On step 12 of the first instruction booklet, you're supposed to place a single green frog in the middle of what will become the T-Rex torso. Next up, let's explore another hidden secret in one of LEGO's many licensed themes. The Shadow the Hedgehog bust is a great representation of the character, but he's hiding something particularly special inside the display base. On page 10 of the instructions, you'll need to stash 3 gold rings inside the base before covering it up. It's a fun reference to his 3 golden rings. Another video game franchise to get the LEGO treatment is Animal Crossing, which has released a dozen sets since its debut in 2024. In the Able Sisters clothing shop, you'll need to build a tree, and you're told to place a flower inside of it and seal it up. Well, if you've played Animal Crossing, you probably know what this refers to, but for those who haven't, shaking trees can cause useful items like flowers or fruit to fall out, so this is a nice little reference to the game. Now, while all of these hidden Easter eggs in licensed sets are amazing for fans of the franchises, LEGO's original lines are equally packed with unique and creative secrets. One amazing example can be found in the minifigure tribute set, also known as the Upscaled Pirate. This is a LEGO House exclusive set only available at the company's headquarters in Billund, Denmark. LEGO has released a few of these over the last several years, but this one is a true fan favorite since it's a direct copy of the iconic Captain Redbeard minifigure from the very first wave of pirate sets back in 1989. Near the end of this build in bag number 7, you'll need to start building the captain's head. Well, it seems that you can take the pirate out of the sea, but you can never take the sea out of the pirate. Because you see, instead of a brain, this guy only has one thing on his mind. And you figure that out when you build it. It's in fact a small island, which is quickly covered up by the rest of the head. Another LEGO set with a little extra headroom is the Creator 3-in-1 Space Astronaut set released in 2024. With only 647 pieces, this build is a bit smaller than the others mentioned in this video so far, but its immense level of detail made this one of my favorite builds last year. However, as great as this set is, there's one part of it that left me a little confused and a bit disappointed. On step 37, you'll build the astronaut's head, and you'll likely notice that this area looks remarkably similar to a cockpit. There's a small control panel, and a space perfectly designed to hold a minifigure. This is actually pretty cool, so what's the issue? Well, you see, this set doesn't actually come with any minifigures at all. I mean, it's worth pointing out that these 3-in-1 sets almost never include minifigures, and I don't think anyone expected this build to include one, but what's slightly confusing though is why the designers would create a space designed for something that's not really included in the set at all. Sure, you can just add one of your own minifigures here, but it's still a strange choice to not include a minifigure in this set. But do you know what isn't a strange choice? Using code SUMMER at checkout for 10% off all SpitBrix posters at SpitBrix.com, including the minifigure patent poster. Link in the description. On the topic of minifigures, there are several characters who pop up over and over again across a range of themes. One of the funniest examples of this is the Lumberjack from Collectible Minifigures Series 5. Take a good look at this guy. Notice his red and white plaid shirt, his light blue jeans, and he even has a name tag that reads Kel. Well, let's jump ahead a few years to Collectible Minifigures Series 14, and what's that? A familiar-looking werewolf? Yup, Series 14's wolf guy is 100% the Lumberjack from earlier. Same shirt, same pants, same name tag. How did it happen? Well, I have no idea, but he's not the only minifigure out there to come with a werewolf variant. Check this out. 2018's pop-up book set features a couple of fairy tale favorites, including Jack and the Beanstalk and Little Red Riding Hood. No version of this latter tale would be complete without a big bad wolf, and this set doesn't disappoint. Of the set's 4 minifigures, we get a dear old granny, as well as the evil wolf imposter, and I absolutely love this minifigure. While the torn and shredded clothes don't paint a pretty picture for the fate of Granny, the glasses are just perfect. I really like when LEGO tells stories throughout their sets. Now jumping up to a much larger set, Assembly Square is a 4,000 two-piece build released back in 2017 to celebrate 10 years of LEGO modular sets. As such, this build is bursting with Easter eggs and hidden references. I don't have the time to go over everything hiding in this build, but there are a few key details that are definitely worth pointing out. In this image, we can see tiny versions of several classic LEGO sets. In the corner, we've got a version of the Eiffel Tower. LEGO has released a few of these, but this is most likely a reference to the 2007 version. We also see this small orange train, which is almost certainly the Horizon Express set released back in 2013. We can also see that this woman picked up a copy of the legendary Cafe Corner modular set, which is a really cool printed piece. Oh, and I can't forget to mention that this set is one of only 2 places that you can get an actual LEGO mirror. So far, these secrets have all been sub-builds or designs that will never be seen by anyone but the builder, but there are several LEGO elements that contain a hidden secret by themselves. Turning back to Jurassic World for a moment, this sticker appeared in the Gyrosphere Escape set, which at first glance seems to show some kind of massive mushroom cloud erupting in the background. Is this a depiction of a LEGO nuclear explosion? Well, this Easter egg is actually a reference to this scene from Jurassic World featuring Jimmy Kimmel, where there's a much smaller explosion in his lab while filming an intro video for guests at the park. As another small example of an interesting piece, this digital alarm clock tile can be flipped upside down and can read as either 1201 or 1021. This piece popped up in a total of 22 different sets between its introduction in 1988 and its official retirement in 2010. During those years, it seems that even LEGO designers couldn't ever agree on what the time actually was supposed to be. The first set to include this part was the Victory Lap Raceway, and it very clearly displayed the tile in both orientations. In the last set to include this piece, 2010's Off-Road Power, we see that this set places it to read 1201. Which way is the correct way to display this piece? The freedom is yours to choose. Moving on, one thing LEGO designers love to do is hide the set's number somewhere in the build. One fairly recent example can be spotted in 2024's Police Speedboat and Crook's Hideout set. This is a pretty small build with only 311 pieces, but it includes one brand new element with a hidden meaning. Hanging on a pillar, there's a small wanted poster. A closer look shows that this particular criminal has already been arrested once, and his prisoner number is 604-17. Want to guess what this set's official number is? Yup, this is set number 60417. So far, this particular printed piece has only ever appeared in this set, but I think it would be really cool if LEGO used it in future releases to tie things all together. There's a lot of potential to tell a very engaging story here. Come on, LEGO, give us some lore. Alright, so everything I've mentioned in this video thus far has been about the LEGO set itself, but sometimes even the box art can be hiding secrets. The roller coaster set from 2018 is a seriously impressive build with just the right level of detail. One of the easiest to miss details here can be found on the box art. If you look very closely at the upper right corner, just beneath the word expert, you'll notice an orange hat flying off a minifigure's head. Well, if we jump to the instructions, we can see that this hat landed safely on the grass below. I wonder if this minifigure was ever able to retrieve his orange hat. Now, this next LEGO hidden secret is a bit of a mystery that requires some in-depth real-world knowledge to unpack. Dom's Dodge Charger from the Fast and Furious line features one step that caused more than a few people to post online asking what it meant. This build includes a very manageable sticker sheet, but one of these is not like the others. About halfway through the build, you're told to apply this sticker, which looks nothing like anything else in the set. It doesn't have any kind of pattern or design, and it gets completely covered up shortly after being placed. So why even bother including it? Well, to answer that, we need to look a bit more closely at what the sticker actually says. It reads TM FCA US LLC 2020. Which sounds like complete nonsense until you realize that TM stands for trademark and FCA US LLC stands for Fiat Chrysler Automobiles US LLC, which represents the American subsidiary that owns Dodge, including the rights to its name and image. You may be more familiar with the new name of the parent company called Stellantis. This sticker is almost certainly just a condition that the company had for LEGO to license the name and image of the Dodge Charger, so when you apply this sticker, you're essentially applying a corporate trademark sticker to the car. Yeah, I agree, it's an odd sticker, but it's certainly an interesting Easter egg to learn about. In fact, if you want to explore even more hidden secrets in LEGO sets, be sure to click on this video right now. And also, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more LEGO videos.